So Crunchyroll once again is taking a jab, well, I guess more so Sony, into the anime community and hurting it and making it bleed once more. For those who did not hear, Crunchyroll is deciding to end its library outreach program, which is gonna leave the community anime clubs high and dry. But keep in mind, before any of that and before we dive into it, their requisites were kinda high, so it wasn't a lot of people, but there were still plenty of people affected by it. So let's take a dive into it and see what this librarian who reached out had to say. So you see here, Distant Valhalla, that's their ad on Twitter, posted this: sad to hear Crunchyroll is ending the library outreach program and leaving community anime clubs high and dry. The fact that they told a librarian who reached out to buy a personal account is pretty absurd, too. What do you expect from the CR at this point? Bottom line is king, which that is just Sony as a whole. Sony just cares about the bottom line, and they've been proving that left and right by destroying all the Funimation digital stuff. That was a big blow to people who invested so much money into digital anime and believe that, I want to own this series, I need to have a digital library because I don't have a lot of room, because I live in an apartment or something of that nature, and they just screwed them all over and just said, well, your $1,000-$2,000, here's your $60 Microsoft gift card, and that's it. They don't care. That's the point. Sony does not care in the bottom line. Same for Crunchyroll. It's to the point where a bunch of people in the Crunchyroll higher ups in Sony believe that anime is just like porn and super ecchi stuff. They just ignore that My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, all this stuff exists and just believe it's all porn. But that's beside the point. Let's take a look at actually what it says. This is what they sent me. After a careful review of our community outreach programs, we made a tough decision to discontinue Crunchyroll's library outreach program in its current form. This change comes as our community outreach efforts evolve, and we are identifying alternate strategic ways to better deliver broad access to Crunchyroll services to anime fans everywhere. We deeply value the role libraries play in expanding access to content to anime communities and are actively exploring alternative ways to support community initiatives that adhere to local guidelines and align with our platform's commitments and resources. During this phase, in the interim, we invite anime fans to register for the service and watch through our free Avoid tier or sign up with a subscription starting at $7.99 fan tier. After this email, I followed up asking about their fan tier subscription, and they replied with this: Crunchyroll, Avoid, and fan tier subscriptions are intended for personal, non-commercial use only. Crunchyroll accounts may not be used for public screenings such as hosting by library, community organizations, etc. And acceptable uses of Crunchyroll accounts are detailed in our terms of services. We truly appreciate your dedication to sharing anime with your community and understand how valuable these programs are. If you actually understood and actually cared about the people that are buying your products, or if you had higher ups who actually knew what anime were, this wouldn't be happening, because it doesn't cost you anything to do this in reality. For you to go, here's a special account made for just outreaches, what is it going to cost you? The thing that it regularly costs you for a regular subscription, it doesn't hurt your bottom line, but they're losing money and they just don't care about you or the community. And sadly, that is what the state of anime and a lot of businesses that are involving with anime are coming to. It's all about the bottom line. And you kind of see that in the American politics, but I digress. Right now, the anime community is hurting because of selfishness done by Crunchyroll once more. So let's take a look and see what the beautiful people of Twitter have to say. Imagine being an anime club that relies on legal anime acquisition. Meanwhile, back in the old days, a generation before mine was watching raw pirated VHS anime with printed out transcripts to read along with them. That's called old school, buddy. And then Crunchyroll is going to walk into a complacency. Crunchyroll is going to complacently walk into the inevitable antitrust lawsuit, and then they're going to break up and they're going to have Funimation again. Well, that's kind of a outreach. I doubt that. Crunchyroll's took over for a reason. If they really wanted to keep Funimation around, they would have diversed and actually had Crunchyroll get absorbed by Funimation, but that didn't happen. So I really doubt Funimation's going to come back. If this somehow does happen, it's going to be under another fucking name. And then, you know, anime clubs being, you know, like existing and actually helping execs mad because they can't eat their caviar in the morning. And then this one is what really stuck with me here, because that's just proves the point of what I've heard. I was the president of my uni's anime club in my undergrad. From my experience, Crunchyroll hardly ever worked with most anime clubs to begin with. Their eligibility requirements excluded most. It's sad to see they're throwing out what little support they have been offering. And this comes back to what I was saying before. It was already hard to get this stuff, which in reality, if they really cared, they wanted to do outreach and get people into it. You give stuff out for free for community, low-income communities that are trying to reach out and share these things that like people love and some people don't have access to. Give that to them. Just give it to them. It's not that hard. Community outreach is simple, and it comes down to whether you are actually caring or not of the community you are trying to help. And unfortunately, like I've stated, Crunchyroll does not care about its fans, its fan base, or anyone that really cares about anime at this point. It's all about money and whatever they can do to screw over people. It's been proven time and time again, especially with the voice actors. So let me know what you guys think. As you can tell, I'm very upset with this because it's stupid and it should never be like hindered or taken away to begin with, but it affects Sony's bottom line. So let me know what you guys think. I love you all. I appreciate all of you. And once again, I will see you all later. Bye-bye.